I have a new neighbor, and it's Sarah Paris, and she lives just down the street from my studio, as I've discovered. It's quite fun. So Sarah Paris is a Swiss-American poet, writer, photographer, editor, and formal journalist. She co-founded and for many years led the Four Seasons Haiku group at Mercy Center in Burlingame. She's a longtime member of Panorama Writers and Poets, the longest running writers group in San Francisco. You'll have to correct me on how I said that. Sarah is the author of two novellas, The Hermit and The Traveler, as well as a German language novel published in Switzerland. Her haiku have appeared in many of the leading journals, and she is currently working on a collection of haiku poetry and photography. In her professional life, she works as an editor, communications consultant, and career coach. You can find her on Twitter at SFS Swiss Poet. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you, everyone, for having me. And thank you, Gideon. That was absolutely brilliant. I so enjoyed that. I think this trend of extending haiku with other media, be it visual or musical or otherwise, I think it's a really wonderful trend. And Gary, it's Parnassus Poets, and David Watts, who is here, knows all about it because he started it many years ago. And he, by the way, is also a jazz musician who has done music and poetry together. So let me share my screen. Can you all see that? Somebody? Good. Okay. So, as the title indicates, what I'm presenting today is not exactly haiku. Because haiku, as you probably all know, haiku are haiku that are illustrated with an image, or conversely, an image that is commented on with a haiku. Whether the image is traditional, such as brush art, or modern photography, there's usually a pretty close connection between the two. In this presentation, which is completely experimental, I tried a different approach. What I'm going to show are haiku moments that are side by side with photographic moments. And the connection may not always be entirely obvious. I chose the photos to accompany the haiku, looking for resonance, for some strong images that would evoke an idea or an emotion akin to the preceding haiku. In other words, most of the images that follow each haiku are not so much parallel as tangential. Okay, they go off at a different angle to one degree or another. In some cases, there is actually a juxtaposition. In some other instances, the images relate pretty closely to the haiku. As I said, this is a bit of an experiment, so bear with me. I hope you enjoy it, or that at least you find it interesting, and I really look forward to your comments. So, a gray dawn, again and again, the call of the morning dove. Groundhog Day, reading the cold tea leaves. Pelicans circle, the surfers await the next wave. Misty beach, the backhoe pours sand on the whale's grave. Stormtail, a cloud of seagulls bursts open. Sitting on the dock of the bay, Juneteenth. Bagpipes drifting across the park, a light rain. twilight ocean, cloud ships cross the darkening sky. The smell of the sea rising, full moon. Night stroll on the banks of the Seine, lovers and rats. Winter night, two white-haired women in black raincoats. Dia de Muertos, skulls watch us sign the willed body form. Winter crow, my breath shorter. Old men arguing at the train station, a tree full of crows. Meditating on all the things I could do to improve my focus. There used to be love letters to burn, delete. Election day, sleeping in the sun, Schrodinger's cat. Desert highway, those who sell oranges at the crossroads. Underneath my sick friend's window, forget-me-nots. Hospital hallway, a young man kisses his father's forehead. Still fresh, those flowers on the compost at the cemetery. Two strangers meeting on the wall, their shadows. Old villa, empty this autumn, a flock of crows. North Beach Alley, hearing the blues, I miss the blues. Dry leaves whispering along the alley, night wind. Insomnia, tracing the lights on a distant highway. Wolf moon, she closes the curtain on her dreams. Leaning too far out of the window, the full moon. Sunlight filters through the curtains, a mockingbird song. Drifting downstream, ducks, maple leaves, this day. Lichen clinging to rock, our shallow lives. San Francisco, the fog days of summer. Outside the walls, herons guard the shore, San Quentin. Twisted oaks, will I outlive my brother? A walking stick and a rosary, 2 old nuns. Spring breeze, the mockingbird song gets carried away. Vernal equinox, half the cherry blossoms gone. Mother's Day, she no longer remembers her children. Where he once sat, the shadow of the tree my teacher planted. Sitting in the sun, the oak tree and I forget to meditate. Using its outdoor voice, the wind whooshing leaves. Left behind, my teacher's old hat and raking instructions. Thank you.
Wow,
Very nice.
so nice. I feel
Beautiful,
like those two
beautiful.
readings complemented each other so well.
Certainly different.
You have a very nice reading voice, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Well done. I like the photography. I like the way you blended them out and together.
Thank you, Gary. Coming from you, that's a real compliment. I
No.
was so intimidated presenting my little snapshots, knowing, your work. So
My work is nothing like that, so we're way different. So
I figured it was so different that,
yeah, you're really a great observer of the things you're photographing. So